It's the Saturday before St. Patty's Day. I'm driving on that weird stretch of Route 83 between Harrisburg and York. I'm feeling really strange. For one, I've just finished listening to this expose about the life of right-wing talk show host Alex Jones on NPR. Also, earlier that morning, I've had breakfast with my live-in girlfriend of the past 6 years, where it has been decided, she has told me, it would be appropriate if I moved out at the end of the month. I'm on my way to a place called Boomerangs. Dan, the band leader, had called me a couple days earlier. Listen, crazy story. They wanted a sax player, then they didn't, then they did. Saturday, 4 to 7, good money, can you make it? 4 to 7, good money? Does Alex Jones have Donald Trump's cell phone number? Yeah, I can make it. I find myself pulling into the parking lot of a generically named hotel, and I bring my gear into a banquet hall that looks like it hasn't had a facelift in about 2 decades. There's a drop ceiling, white drop ceiling, Formica floor, and I'm thinking to myself, who could be getting married here? Turns out it's Tom and Dolores. They're senior citizens in their 70s who have found love again and want to celebrate with family and friends. So I set up my horn and go wait in the hallway till the event starts. As I'm sitting there, a young woman of about 30, she's wearing tan wedgies and olive stretch jeans. Yes, and she comes over and she says, "Are you in charge? The bride is my aunt. I don't know who this guy is she's marrying, whether he's going to strangle her or poison her. I just want to make sure you guys have all the names of the wedding party and all the names to call." I can tell by the slushiness in her words, she has hit the bar early and often. I explain I'm not the leader, point out Dan sitting across the hall, and she stumbles over to him. We begin to play. The event starts, we begin playing. People are getting comfortable, getting in their seats. You know, everything is going nice. Time for the toast. A man, dark-haired, thin, looking uncomfortable in his white shirt and tie, stands up, holds up his plastic champagne flute, and says, "Dad, I love you so much. You've been the greatest father to us. We just love you. We just, you've always been there for us. We're so happy to be here today. Dolores, you've been so great to Gwen." He points to a woman in a wheelchair at the head table. "You've just been wonderful. Welcome to the family. We love you." Everyone toasts the happy couple. Everyone raises their glasses. After that, tables are called for the buffet. I go over to the band table where the conversation becomes about relationships. Dan, the band leader, he's on his second marriage. Carl, the guitarist, is divorced, does not talk to his ex, dates a woman about 2 hours away up in the Poconos, and that works out fine. Steve, the drummer, has been married over 40 years. Him and his wife go to craft shows every weekend. They just have a great time together. They love to travel, have adventures. As I push my bad pasta around on the plate, I think about the breakfast I had this morning and wonder, how did I get here in my life, at this stage of my life? We start to play again, and people are dancing. Tom and Dolores have their first dance. There's a really cute little tradition. They put a bowl out, people throw dollars in so they can dance with the bride or the groom. And from behind my horn, as people were playing tunes and dancing, I'm observing. Tom and Dolores having a great time. There's a woman, I'd say she's about 40, with her 2 daughters. She's tall, and her daughters are tall. Maybe they're 14 and 12. She's dancing with them. Her husband sits at a table drinking with another guy, and I think, why isn't the husband dancing with the wife? There's another couple. She's wearing a beautiful print dress, and he's got one of those blue hipster suits. They're having a good time dancing. I look at the table. There's a couple young children. No wedding rings, and my thought is, divorce, have met on the job, they're trying love again. The tan wedges, olive jeans niece is dancing with her mom. I flash them a big smile. They look back at me stone-faced. I'm pretty sure they're going to be dancing only with each other for a very long time. Time for the cake cutting ceremony. They cut the cake, and afterwards, someone hits a switch, and all these lights come on the ceiling of the banquet hall. It becomes illuminated. It's magic. We break into Unchained Melody. "Oh, my love, my darling, I tremble for your touch. Tom and Dolores are holding each other. They're smiling, just looking at each other's eyes, so much in love. The pretty print dress woman in the blue hipster suit are holding each other so tightly, you couldn't pry them apart with a cake server. It gets near 7 o'clock. People rounding up the kids, they're putting their coats on, getting ready to leave. Tom comes up to me, thanks me for my music, and says, "You know, when my wife died, I didn't think I could connect again. Then I met Dolores." Maya Angelou wrote, "Trust in love, and then trust in love again." I drive north on Route 83. The sky's a chill azure blue with the promise of spring.